RMS Titanic, the largest and grandest ship of its time. It carried over 2,200 passengers and crew. The ship also measured 882 feet from front to back. The Titanic was almost as long as 4 city blocks. It also rose as tall as an 11-story building. The White Star Company took 3 years to build the Titanic. They wanted the ship to be extra safe, so added a steel hull that was 2 layers thick. The compartments inside the hull had heavy, watertight doors that the captain could open in case of an emergency, so that the ship could stay afloat. The Titanic had 9 floors and could travel at 23 knots maximum. The ship also weighed about 46,328 tons and was equipped with many safety features. For example, it had a 5-kilowatt wireless radio, just invented 11 years earlier, which could transmit a range of 500 miles. The ship had lifeboats for only 1,178 people, which is only enough for 50% of all the passengers on board. Captain Edward J. Smith was going to command the ship upon its first journey from Southampton, England to New York, with stops in between in France and Ireland. A staggering 2,200 people were on board the ship to make a journey across the Atlantic to meet up with various friends and family. However, once they hit the middle of the ocean, things began to go not according to plan. April 14th, 1912. Captain Smith had decided to take measures to lower the risk of hitting an ice field. Usually when ships approached Newfoundland, they cut southwest before heading west. Smith went even more far south than normal to avoid any contact. Unfortunately, this maneuver would go in vain. The weather was cold, clear, and calm. The Titanic was speeding at her max potential, 26.5 miles per hour. The people switched their jobs as the night shift took over. Up in the crow's nest, 2 lookouts noticed a colossal dark figure around 11:40 p.m. Immediately, the captain ordered for the ship to be turned right and engines reversed, but they were just a little too late. The bow of the Titanic barely missed the iceberg, but the hull of the ship scraped it. People throughout the boat felt the jolt, but worse was yet to come. News reached the captain the water was flooding the ship. Smith knew that he had less than 2 hours to evacuate the ship onto the lifeboats. As news of the iceberg spread across the passengers of the Titanic, panic began to take over. Soon enough, the Titanic started sinking. Lights went out and pipes started breaking off. Then the ship cracked in half. The Titanic began its journey into the depths of the Atlantic Ocean.
Titanic sent out multiple distress signals, and the nearest ship to answer them was the Carpathia, roughly 60 miles away. It would be 4 whole hours before the ship arrived, which was way too long. However, there was a possibility that another ship, named the Californian, was close by. Her passengers claimed to have seen lights in the distance, and the Titanic's distress rockets could even be seen. However, they failed to respond as the ship's captain was too lazy to wake the wireless operator to decode the signals coming in, though they eventually responded. With little time to spare, the Titanic began deploying lifeboats. On average, each lifeboat could only hold 65 people. Lifeboat 1 was launched with only 12. Children and women were prioritized. Men were only allowed on if they had a child. By 2:05, the boat was underwater, and by 2:17, the water line was at the deck. People left in the water, and some lifeboats would likely die of hypothermia, especially those in the water, due to it being 18 degrees Fahrenheit. By 2:20 a.m., the ship was gone.